All right, everyone,
You see
welcome
me?
back. Yep, I got you. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Always Getting Better podcast. I'm your host, Regan Hunsaker, and I have a very special guest here with me today, someone that is an American hero, one of the legends of American wrestling. We have with us Olympic gold medalist Rulon Gardner. Rulon, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for letting me come on the show. It's exciting to be able to kind of share my journey and show people what it was like to get to the Olympics and see what life was like growing up on a small farm in Wyoming.
Yeah, great. Awesome background there too. I got to tell you, it's awesome to see you're out there with the 4A baseball, right?
I am. I'm actually out there helping broadcast the 4A state championships here in beautiful St. George, Utah.
Outstanding. Okay, well, Rulon, just for anybody who's listening who doesn't really know your story, your background, I don't know. First of all, they'd have to be living under a rock because you're pretty an amazing person, and like I said, American hero. Could you give us a quick history of Rulon and the things that you've accomplished?
Yeah, where to start? I grew up in a small town in Wyoming. After Wyoming, I grew up the youngest of 9 kids on a dairy farm. So for me as a young kid, wrestling was something that kind of gave me the opportunity to get off the farm and develop, hard work and goals and dedication. And then, through wrestling, that gave me the opportunity to go win a state title and then look at going on after, growing up on the farm and learning all the characteristics I did to succeed at working on the farm. I took that work ethic and moved on to, Rick's College in Idaho and then ultimately University of Nebraska.
Outstanding. Cool. Well, you've got a great camp opportunity that's going to be coming up next month. Could you tell us just a little bit about who you have coming in for your camp?
Yeah, I got some of the best wrestlers in America. I got one of them is Kenny Monday, Olympic champion, a guy that I idolized. Actually was recruited to go to Oklahoma State. He actually was on the recruiting trip. He hosted a party one night, and I talked to him about a month ago about it, and just how influential that night it was, and just how amazing he was, to know that, he gave me the same, inspiration that, I give people nowadays. And so for me, it's just amazing to be able to share that vision, that discipline, that love of the sport of wrestling. And so Kenny Monday, I have Quincy Monday. That's Kenny's boy. He'll actually be here. He just took second in the NCAAs. And then one of my real favorite wrestlers, a guy named Dennis Hall. And when I looked at, getting on the national team at University of Nebraska after I graduated from college, I looked at Dennis Hall. Dennis Hall was a world champion, Olympic silver medalist in Greco-Roman. And one of the best matches I ever saw was between him and Brandon Paulson. And the two of them just scrapped and went after it. And, Dennis Hall is one of the toughest mentally, physically, psychological guys I've ever met. And he doesn't take no for an answer. He just, finds a way to win and succeed. And I looked at that as an example upon me about what I wanted to do with my wrestling career. And then ultimately, I got Dennis coming in, myself. We got 5 great clinicians, and it's going to be a great camp.
Outstanding. Yeah, that should be a phenomenal camp opportunity. I will post the link to the flyer in the show notes so that anybody listening can get that information as well. I'll pass it along to all the kids that I work with here in Roosevelt. So today, the title of the episode is Follow Your Dreams to Find Your Passions. And I got to tell you, growing up in Wyoming and growing up in a wrestling family, every year we would go up to the state wrestling tournament in Casper, and right before the finals, and you start nodding your head because I know that you know this, but they would play the gold medal match during the Parade of Champions, and that to me was just one of the most amazing motivational things in my life as a young wrestler growing up. I mean, I would look at that match and just say, wow, I mean, he came from here and accomplished some pretty amazing things. And I got to tell you, like that in my life was a major motivation into what I have accomplished. I mean, I haven't been an Olympic champion, but I got the chance to go play college baseball because of the motivation that I found from watching you wrestle, from seeing your success. So I, first of all, thank you for that, because you're a major motivator in my life. So
thank you. Well, it's fun to be able to, be looked at as somebody who people look up to. And for me, it's just kind of weird because I didn't go out to win the Olympics. I didn't go out to make the Olympic team. I went out to get an opportunity to learn how to wrestle, and then go to college, get a degree, win an NCAA title. And some of those things I did, some of them I didn't do. I got my college degree. It took me 6.5 years after I won the Rick's College Junior National Championships. I went to the University of Nebraska. Took 4th place my senior year. Was never never a national champ. I was an All-American, but just hadn't realized my potential until it took me another 2 years to get my degree. And that same work ethic it was to get that diploma is what I used when I looked at going on after college and wrestling to the Olympic level and realizing my dreams. That's what it takes. People think, oh, it's just going to come to me. It's just natural. It's a given. No, you got to take what you want. You can't just go out there and expect it to be given to you. You got to go out there and take it, learn it, make it part of who you are on a daily basis. I talk to the kids in my club. I'm like, hey, you need to incorporate all this knowledge we're bringing to you, giving to you. If you do not implement that in your lives, you're never going to reach your potential you could have. So why not maximize your potential on a daily basis?
Yeah, definitely. So what was maybe that biggest motivating factor that helped you to reach that Olympic goal?
All the people tell me I couldn't do it. I couldn't graduate high school. I couldn't go to college. I couldn't, win an NCAA title. That I couldn't, beat McAfee. McAfee telling him I couldn't beat him. My brother, my senior year, was the first time I made the varsity wrestling team in my family in Star Valley. So for me, it was all the intangibles. People tell me, oh, you're not good enough. You're not fast enough. You're not strong enough. You're not smart enough. Even now on a daily basis in my adult life, people still, put limitations on me. And that's the best motivating factor is, not maybe, go out there and do your best, but I'm gonna go out and do my best. And that's the one thing about it is my expectation of me was higher and greater than anybody else out there. And that's what drove me to succeed.
That's awesome. So over the course of your career, you've had the chance to do all kinds of different things, travel all over the place. What was maybe the coolest experience you've had throughout your career in wrestling?
Well, all the, I guess, not glamorous, trips we took to Europe, going to, I've been to Poland, 6 times. I've been to Cuba 8 times. I've been to Russia. I've been to a lot of these old bloc countries, and they're not always so pretty. They're not always so pleasant. They don't always want an American to win. And so, when you're walking in there, the deck is stacked against you. So when you walk out there, you're probably going to lose. But then to have all that come together and walk into Sydney and, everybody's like, oh, you won the Olympics in Sydney. That month must have been amazing. It was. That month was amazing. But a month before that, I was in a tournament in Russia, and I got thrown and pinned in 13 seconds because I was overconfident. I thought I was better than I really was. And I got humbled. I got brought back down to the foundation, and I just started building every day. I got to Sydney. I said, hey, I'm not even supposed to be here. So you know what? You're going to give everything you can to prove who you are and what you can accomplish.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty amazing. And, sports has a way of giving us great experiences that teach us lessons throughout life. And that's kind of been the whole motivating factor behind this podcast, is that I want to share some of those lessons that I've learned and some of the people that I've had the opportunity to interact with over my time, and have them share some of the lessons that they've learned as well. What for you would probably be the life lesson from sports that has kind of stood the test of time?
Well, when you dedicate yourself to a sport or a function or something in life that you want to be successful at, you're not always going to accomplish your goals. And I have kids all the time saying, oh, I lost, I did this, I did that. That's okay. Learn from your loss, get back up, clean yourself off, brush yourself off. I'm at baseball today. I watched Bear River lose this morning, and they got a really good team. It's just disappointing, and to see all the anguish and just all the dedication these kids are putting into it and failing. But just because you fail doesn't mean that your life is a failure and you didn't succeed. It means there's lessons to be learned in every experience. And people tell me all the time, it's not a matter of how many times you fail. It's a matter of how many times you get up and learn from your experience to be the best that you can on a daily basis. And after I lost the medal, in the semifinals to go to the gold medal match, now to the bronze, media is like, oh, you failed, you didn't reach your goals, you didn't, become a 2-time Olympic gold medalist and so on and so forth. And I said, that's okay. And they're like, well, isn't winning the gold medal the only thing that matters? I said, never. I said, my expectation wasn't winning Olympics. My expectation is going out there and competing at the highest level I could possibly get to and seeing what happens. And luckily, my mind, the good Lord above, gave me the ability to be at that level of wrestling to where I could compete, won the Olympics, won the worlds. And then after frostbite, came back from that, lost, and came back and still won the Olympic bronze medal. So it's not always about winning. It's about giving the best in every situation you're given, no matter what the outcome.
Definitely. And see, that's part of why, like I said, this episode, I'm titling it Follow Your Dreams to Find Your Passions, because honestly, like I said, and growing up, watching you wrestle helped me to set some of the goals and the dreams that I had. And that brought me to end up finding my passion for sports and for teaching and for coaching. And I got to say, one of the coolest things, I think it was really amazing a couple years ago when you took the head wrestling coaching job at Harriman. I thought that was, that is really amazing to see somebody that has reached the pinnacle of their sport to then go back and give back to the sport and give back to the youth of today that want to see those things, want to be able to say, hey, I've got that dream and I've got that motivating factor now. And it's really cool for me. I thought that was just the most amazing thing to see somebody as an Olympic champion come back and coach at the high school level. And just, you've took a team that honestly had some deficiencies and made them really good. There's some really phenomenal wrestlers on that team, and it was there, and they were fun to watch too. So,
we did that. I learned that. I did that for 3 years. I loved it. Now I've moved to St. George. I have a youth club this afternoon at 5 to 6:30 today. Here at the end of the school year, I'll have 15 to 20 kids show up every day, and these are kids that still have that passion. I'm living in St. George now. I have 5-6 different schools I can work with all the wrestlers. And then I was in Vegas a few weeks ago. I was, Idaho and Wyoming. I get to go all over the country and share my passion and the knowledge I have of wrestling. But it's not just, success on the mat. It's about being a good person, being a good representative, a good role model for all the kids that someday want to be an Olympian, that, want to have that same dream that I had. And I'll tell kids, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be rough. But you know what? I'll be in line. I'll be the one telling you and showing you how to deal with the sidetracking and the adversity you're going to go through, because I've been through it all myself. At a documentary, Rulon Won't Die, they changed the name to An Ordinary Man with an Extraordinary Journey, because there's like, whoever thought a farm boy from Wyoming could do what I've done and been through so many just, life-ending situations. And I just keep coming at them and keep fighting and get back on top and just do what we do here in America. And that's be the best we can on a daily basis and overcome any obstacle, no matter what's put in front of us.
Yeah. Well, and I watch that. I just, every time that I revisit your story, it just is amazing to me. It's so cool to see the things that you have accomplished. And like I said, you taking your Olympic dream and being able to reach that, and then using that to then follow your passions and help the youth of today become better people. That's exactly what I'm hoping to see out of our next generation, which is, it's amazing.
Yeah. You being at Union High School in Roosevelt, those kids, whoever's going to, make the Olympic team out of Roosevelt, whoever would make the Olympic team out of Afton, Wyoming. So it doesn't matter where you start. The question is, where's your destination? Where are you going to end up? And, maybe it isn't at the Olympics. So you know what? Maybe if you don't get there, you can help somebody else get there. You can help somebody else win a state title. And life is just being happy and content where you're at, not wanting something you don't have or something you want to get. It's being happy and satisfied. I'm here to, state baseball, state championships. What does a wrestler know about baseball? Well, I got, Colorado Rockies here. A good friend of mine was the owner of the Rockies. I got to meet, the big unit, Randy Johnson, Todd Helton, Larry Walker. These guys were personal friends. They looked at me and were like, man, Larry, I had Randy Johnson said, Rulon, when are you going to teach me how to wrestle? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you're 6'10". I'm like, somebody ever, rushes the mound. I'm like, is anybody ever that stupid? They call you the big unit for a reason. Because you got a leg that's 6 feet long and they stick that leg up, you're going to kill somebody. I said, Randy, nobody is stupid enough to attack the mountain. He's like, well, you never know. I'm like, trust me, you're good.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rulon, for coming on today. I really appreciate it. Once again, I want to shout out your gold medal camp coming up next month in June. I'd encourage everybody to sign up for that. You're going to get great instruction, great opportunity to learn from some really amazing wrestlers and great people.
Thanks. Yeah, it's going to be great. The 27th through January 1st, people coming down to St. George. Kenny Monday's excited, and, just want to surround. And, here in Utah, everybody's like, oh, well, there's these oddities, Kel, you. We're just like the guy down the street. It's just, we took a passion like wrestling and we took it to a whole new level. Why not do that to baseball, football, basketball, sports, school, whatever it is? Find that passion and make that your dedication to achieve your goals in this life.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Rulon. We'll catch up with you again soon.
Okay, sounds good. Good luck, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.